And we're back on WGN TV Political Report. My next guest is hoping to be the first Republican to lead the office of Cook County State's Attorney since 1996. GOP candidate Bob Fioretti joins me this morning in our WGN studio. It's been a while, Bob. Good to see you again.
Good to be here this afternoon, this morning, or whichever way.
Let me be candid. Your opponent, Eileen O'Neill Burke, she's kind of acting like she's moving past November, and she's already been meeting with Kim Foxx and Larry Snelling, Mayor Johnson. Have you been meeting with those folks too in anticipation of a possible victory?
I've talked to them, but not on the issues that affect the office. I think she's being a little bit presumptuous. She should talk to the voters. She should talk to the people. I've offered her 5 debates, and she has ignored that request. A lot in the media has asked for her to debate. I mean, there are large differences, significant differences as how we approach law enforcement, and she refuses to talk.
And she said because she has so many meetings and things to do, she has acknowledged your service, though, to the community. She also says she's tired of the never-ending weekend shootings that go on. What is your plan to address that violence?
Well, I've been talking about it for quite a long while. As of today, we've had about 2,421 shootings in the city of Chicago alone. You know, we could take guns off the street if we're going to get serious about it. Then how and what our approach should be is a collaborative approach. Let's follow what the assistant from the Justice Department said earlier this year. We've put together a team. It meets every day, Chicago Police, ATF, other federal and state entities, and together we're looking at how crime and gun violence is affecting the city of Chicago.
Burke notes it's a challenge to address the problem with minors. They often end up in the system as adults as time goes on. She's talking about youth outreach programs as her effort. You've said, and I'm quoting you, if they're minors, if they're juveniles, we're going to look at their parents. What have their parents been doing? What's the accountability? If there's a way to charge the parents under any of the acts for failure, let's bring them in too. So is your plan about the youth, the parents, both?
Well, first of all, I don't know where she's been, but because it's for once she's coming forward. She's copying some of the things I've done. I've employed young people in the past, 40 or more. I've taken young people up to the top of the Sears Tower, had them have lunch or breakfast at Lou Mitchell's right near there. You know, she's Johnny-come-lately in terms of her approaches. She's got some serious issues to learn what's happening in our communities. And yes, I do want to hold the parents accountable where the facts warrant it.
You have been against no cash bail, the Safety Act. You've had a lot of problems with that, but it's enshrined in the law now. So I'm sort of curious as you go forward. You're not going to get a repeal through the democratically controlled legislature, I don't think. Does the system take into account satisfactory to you issues like risk to the victim, defendant, flight risk? Are those considerations sufficient?
Well, I think there should be more considerations in terms of what judges should have more discretion. They should be able to look at the individual's rap record, whether they're a flight risk, whether a problem to the victim, a problem to the community, and maybe we should have the judge be able to detain those individuals. We have an assault on a police officer is not, or a battery on a police officer is not detainable, and a battery on an elderly is not detainable. Those are crimes that the judge should be able to look at and say, yes, we are going to detain people.
Look, you know Cook County is a very blue county. You know that. Republicans have been elected in your role, but it's been quite a while. What makes you think that this time around Chicagoans and suburbanites will say it's time to mark the ballot for a Republican? Because having Trump at the top of the ticket probably doesn't help you in Cook County.
Well, that may be correct, but I'm fighting and talking to voters throughout this county as opposed to what my opponent is doing. And I'm out there, I believe independents, Fioretti Democrats and Republicans are sick and tired of crime as it's occurring not only in the city but in the suburbs too. They want change. They want somebody who's going to stand up for the victims, somebody who's going to back the police, and somebody who's going to break this whole cycle of crime and corruption, and I'm the one who's going to support that.
People who remember you as an alderman know you were a Democrat at that time. What was behind your switch to the Republican Party and doing so in a county where it's going to be an uphill climb?
Well, the Democratic Party left me. it left most people out there. They continue to vote for the Democrats because that's all they see on the ballot. We have an outrageously long ballot this time. We have over 70 judges on that ballot. Most people are not even going to know who, what, when, and what they've done. So I am, as one of those, the Democratic Party does not stand for the people. It does not stand for law and order, and as I was saying earlier, they believe that the police are the bad guys, the criminal defendants the good guy, and the victims don't count. I'm going to change that philosophy.
I have to ask you, as the Republican nominee, do you support Donald Trump? Will you be voting for him?
I'm supporting, I am the Republican ticket in here in Cook County. I support the Republican ticket.
That's a yes?
I support the Republican ticket.
Okay. Bob, if you're ready, thanks for coming.